All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Discord. It is January 13th, Monday, 9:15 a.m. New York City time. How was everyone's weekend? Are you guys ready for another down week? Was it even a down week last week? I'm sure it was. All right. Actually, last week was up. Never mind. All right, let's look at the pre-market tape. S&P futures down 0.75%. Nasdaq is down 1.1%. The Dow is down 0.15% so far. Dow is outperforming. Nice. Russell's down 1.14%. VIX futures are up 4.6%. Treasuries are flat. Long terms are up slightly. Gold is down 1.1%. Crude is up 1%. Nat gas is down 1.1%. Bitcoin is down 4.3%. The FTSE is down about 0.5%. The Nikkei closed flat. The Shanghai index closed down about 0.15%. And the US dollar is up 0.8% versus other currencies. Pretty big moves. I think the S&P was down close to 1%. Something like that overnight. I actually bought some units of UPRO around 5 a.m. this morning. So about a little over 4 hours ago. Bought the dip there. Leverage dip. Didn't think it would stay that low. And so far, looks like that was a good call. Going to cash those out promptly, though. Probably at the open. Let's see. What do we have in the news? I don't even think we talked about jobs data last week, but that was a clear reason why stocks were down. Some banks aren't expecting rate cuts this year. We'll probably still get a cut or two. I mean, to me, the question is always not how many cuts are we going to get. It's what size are those cuts going to be. I think now the markets are kind of questioning that 50 basis point cut that Powell did last year. But yeah, so markets are going a little risk off now. I think Nvidia was taking a good hit. Nvidia's been taking a hit. Let's see, they are trading at 130 now in pre-market. Might be time to get some long exposure there. I wasn't really selling put spreads. I'll probably keep doing that. I'll roll those. But I kind of want to buy some short-term calls on Nvidia now. I know quantum stocks are still falling. Let's check those out. IonQ, someone mentioned IonQ. They're down, what was that, about 9% pre-market? They hit a low of about 27 earlier. IonQ, probably the strongest out of all those poo-poo quantum computing stocks. Looks like Rigetti Spaghetti is still taking a hit. What else we got? QUBTS or QUBT. QBTS. So all of those, yeah. QBTS looks like that one's still dropping. Yeah, IonQ is kind of leading the charge there, I guess, or faring better than others, I should say. And then Quantum Corp, the company has nothing to do with quantum computing, but squeezed alongside with them. That one's still dropping, so fun times. All right, let's see. Let's look at the news. Already talked about Constellation acquiring Calpine Energy and how that was fairly odd. I believe CEG was up something like 25% on Friday. The news was reported Wednesday, and I think it fell initially. Let's see. Yeah, initially it had fallen, like 8%, 9% on the news. Closed down something like 5% on that Wednesday. Markets are closed Thursday, and then it soars 25%. Pretty odd to me. I don't understand how the markets collectively get that wrong. Unless there's something I'm missing. I know the news came out Wednesday. I know that. CVS, what's going on with CVS? All right. Walgreens was up, like 26% Friday after an earnings beat. Now CVS is cruising on up. Very interesting. GME MOAS tomorrow. Always tomorrow. How many MOASs have occurred outside of GME? I mean, look at the quantum computing stocks. How many stocks just, the 500,000% in a few months? Not sure if I mentioned this Friday, but Warner Brothers, Disney, and Fox's venue service has been canceled. They were citing market shifts, and they are settling the $220 million lawsuit with Fubo, which Disney is taking a 70% stake in. No, it's going to make Fubo free cash flow positive, but I think they're just expecting $10, $20 million, something like that, free cash flow, which isn't a lot compared to their now, I don't know, $1.7 billion market cap. Let's see. Yeah, 1.7. So, saved from bankruptcy for now, but not sure what that means for the long-term business. They get to survive, but I don't know what their plan is from here. They didn't have a very good plan before, so. Meta's decision to overhaul content moderation policies has sparked concerns among advertisers. The company is also discontinuing key DEI initiatives. What is that? Diversity. I forgot the E. Equality, inclusion. Is that what it is? Citing changing legal landscapes and a shift in business priorities under the incoming Trump administration. Additionally, Mark Zuckerberg is in the news following a podcast appearance where he criticized Apple and said companies need more, quote, masculine energy. Lots to unpack there. Oh, the E's for equity? Really? I guess it was for shareholders. So let's see. Yeah, Zuckerberg's criticized Apple for not being innovative. Says they haven't had an innovative product since Steve Jobs was alive. It's over 10 years ago, which I think is basically true. The funny thing is, this is Zuckerberg, who has literally stolen every idea that has made him rich. So, yeah. Teapot in the kettle, huh? Stolen or copied? Yeah. I think Threads just isn't doing well because it doesn't have. I don't think they need Threads. It just seems too similar. It's like why use this app? I already have other apps. It doesn't feel like its own app. I think is the main thing. I think what boomers use Facebook. Most people use Instagram. Facebook links to Instagram, but on Instagram you don't feel like you're also using Facebook, you know? And then Twitter is its own platform. You're not using any other platform, just using Twitter, right? Well, Threads, it kind of feels like you're using other platforms. So it keeps trying to link them. Like you want to go back to Facebook as well? Don't forget about Instagram. And then on Instagram it says, do you want to use Threads? So it's kind of, it's a little too pushy, and I don't think it offers anything different. And if it does, then they got a marketing problem, I guess. Kind of feels like when Google was trying to push their social media services. What was it? Was it Google? Was it like Google U? What was it called? I don't even remember. Whatever that Google social media service was. I remember, everybody had like a few friends that tried it out. Google Plus? Is that what it was? Oh, Google Plus, yeah. Everybody had like a few friends that tried it out. And it's like, you kind of glance, like, nobody's really using this. Yeah, that's kind of what Threads reminds me of. So Zuck's going to need to bring somebody on board who can actually innovate, as he says. Apple is facing a $1.8 billion UK class action lawsuit over alleged unfair 30% App Store commissions. A 7-week trial is now underway, marking a precedent in UK tech litigation. The company is also urging shareholders to reject the proposal to eliminate its DEI programs. So Zuckerberg says, get rid of DEI, need more men. Apple says, keep DEI. We're good with the number of men we have. More masculine energy. I don't understand. Is he just marketing to Trump? I don't understand. Or maybe he's pulling an Elon. Maybe he's taking a page out of Elon's book where you just, whatever market you don't have, you just advertise to them. You just start talking like them. So Zuckerberg, I mean, he's got most people on Instagram. He's got the boomers, including boomer conservatives on Facebook. He's got millennials, Zoomers on Instagram, right? There's market share to be taken from TikTok. What is he missing? I don't know. A misogynist. So I guess he'll get him now. Let's see. Yeah. Good job, Zuckerberg. Johnson & Johnson announced a $14.6 billion acquisition of Intracellular Therapies, ticker ITCI, to expand its neurological disorder treatments. The deal includes a 39% premium on ITCI stock. Let's check them out real quick. Market's just open, looks like. Oh, yeah, ITCI. Yeah, they're already up to that price. All right, let's look at SPY. Or let's look at overall markets, rather. SPY's down 0.8%. NASDAQ's down 1.15%. Dow is down 0.1%. Dow's holding up pretty damn well. Russell's down 1.2%. VIX is up 9.5%. VIX futures up only 4.5%. All right. And how are the Mag 7 doing? plus JP Morgan. Apple's down 1.75%. Apple cannot catch a break. Amazon's down 0.3%. Broadcom's down 0.3%. Google's down 1.5%. Meta's down about 2%. Microsoft's down about 0.7%. Nvidia's down 3.5%. JP Morgan is up 0.2%. Bank's doing just fine. Let's see. Nvidia. Quite the move there. I didn't notice it dropped down to 129. Came right back up. Yeah, I was looking at buy calls at 130. Pretty big sell-off. I'll watch the 130 mark. That's what I'm going to watch. Let's see. All right. Okay, what else we got? I need to look at some trades here. All right. Tesla's down 2.5%. SMCI is down 9%. What's going on with them? It's just another day for them. I had some puts expiring next week. I'm up 230% on those. It's a pretty good time to close, I guess. Oh, look at that move. Man. All right, let's see. Let's leave just a few open, maybe. And see what happens. Yeah, those are going in the money now. Looks like my timing is good. Let's see. Oh, yep. If I'd have got in there. Okay, now I'm chasing. There we go. Not the best fill, but still a nice 215%. Not bad. All right. Quantum Corp. I am still shorting, and I need to open up some new shorts on these quantum poo-poo stocks. What else we got? Is Microsoft pulling back up? Yes, it is. Apple's now down 2.4%. Man, let me look at Apple here. Hell of a drop. That's over a 10% fall from its recent all-time highs. I think I'm going to trade that. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I already had calls. Yeah, those are toast. I'll buy some more 240s. Why not? Let's do some of those. All right, I bought the 240. Strike 240 is expiring this week. And let me just set an alert for those. Check Nvidia real quick. Oh, Nvidia hit 130 and then it just bounced. Okay. Maybe I'll do Nvidia as well. What do we got here? And those put spreads in the money. Let's do some 135, 138 call spreads. Am I going to get in time? Yeah, we'll do some of those. Okay, we're in those. Amazon. Google's down 2%. Not sure I like Google right now. Meta just broke below 600. And JP Morgan's on a tear. I might trade that to the downside. Unless everything, yeah, the markets are just going up now. All right. I don't think I'll trade too much. Pretty big move for Meta. Let's see how cheap these options are. I don't want to make the same trade over and over again. I'm going to leave Meta alone. I could see semis coming back up. Apple. Yeah, we'll see. There goes Broadcom already. Oh, Broadcom. Yeah, they weren't having that bad of a day. Broadcom issues $3 billion of senior notes, $1.1 billion at 4.8%. Broadcom is risk-free, equal to the risk-free rate. Due 2028, $800 million at 5.05%. Due 2030, $1.1 billion at 5.2% due 2032. I bet they're going to make another acquisition. That's what they tend to do. There's nothing stopping them. And they're very good at their acquisitions. Apple down 2.7% now. Nvidia down 4.4%. And Meta's the one that's pulling back up a bit. Choppy, very choppy. Okay. Let's see. I need to look at some of my other trades. Occidental's up 1.3%. Very nice. MicroStrategy is down 6.5%. Johnson & Johnson is up 1.1%. Looks good. Okay. I got some trades to make on that. Actually, I'm going to wait. Actually, the one I wanted to see was UNH. How's UNH doing? UNH is up 3.5%. Very nice. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah. Some call spreads I have are now in the money. The long strike. Debit call spreads, rather. And I think some old call spreads from Active Trading Channel, those are now making money. They were sucking for a while. But I think price target upgrades are coming in. Yeah. Some no-name analysts downgraded them, but Wells Fargo increased price target from 677 to 694. Okay. Man. Yeah, I might look to close one of those trades. That's a pretty big move. Did gap up. It's getting closer to, what is it? That is the 200-day moving average. Yeah. Where is it? Let's see. 20, 50, 100, 200. Yeah. Okay. What else we got? Intel's getting spanked again, down 1.75%. Fubo's down 9.5%. Poor little Fubo. Dexcom was up at least a couple percent earlier. Gave up some of that gain. I think they are pre-reporting for earnings, sort of. Issuing guidance. Devon, how are they doing? Man, Devon's been on a tear. Yeah, up about 100% on Devon Leap calls. Very nice. Dow Chemicals holding. CVS. How are we looking there? Okay. Carvana. What's Carvana doing? Not much. All right. AMD still going down. It's not down by much, though, is it? 1.2%. Kind of looks like AMD's trying to bottom out. But who knows? All right. Zuckerberg, the bastion of modern masculinity. Yeah. I get it. Wait, he's trying to take the mantle from Blow Rogan. More masculine energy is code for tech industry needs to fondle Trump's balls for good favor. Yeah. Yeah, everybody's getting in line, puckering up. He's missing the incel market that Twitter. Yeah, I think he is. He definitely is. Oh man, it's not even a joke. Moderna is down 20%. What did they do? Nothing, as always. Let's see. Yeah, Dexcom's all right. Well, Apple's dealing with a big lawsuit from the UK, so I figure that's taking more of a toll. I don't know that Apple trades based on Zuckerberg's comments. IonQ is green now? Well, not anymore. They're trying. All right. Let's see. I don't want to ignore YouTube people, of which they're dead. All the YouTube people are dead. Oh man. Okay. Nvidia's coming back. Okay, there we go. Apple's struggling. Broadcom's up 1.2% now. Let's see. I'm sure we got some big movers today. Oh, not dividends. No, it's just ITCI, company being acquired by J&J. I'm not streaming? Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm definitely streaming. Is it not let's see. Oh, I know why. Ha ha ha. Okay. Now I'm streaming. I blame YouTube. You know, it's all because of YouTube's DEI policies. It needs more masculine energy. That's why the stream wasn't working. It's not my fault. Not at all. Yeah, the stream should be up now. Sorry about that. On the YouTube, yeah. Here, I'll just share in case anybody. Let's see. Where's the actual link to share? Is this the one? Oh, there we go. All right, there we go. In case you wanted to join on YouTube. Hmm. Soul, I see you in YouTube land. I thought about just doing it on YouTube, not doing it Discord, but I don't want to do you guys like that. Because the one thing I do know is that Discord, you don't have to have the screen on to listen. Whereas, YouTube, you have to do that. I don't have to because I pay for premium because I'm not a peasant. No, I'm just kidding. Now premium, yeah. Too many subscriptions gets expensive, but YouTube Premium, I use YouTube so often, so I pay to get rid of the ads. But I know most people don't. So Discord is, I guess, the only reasonable way to allow you guys to listen without having to keep the screen on. Unless you use it on your laptop or PC or whatever, I don't know, desktop. McLovin, good to see you. Mr. Average Jack, how you doing? McLovin coming up. Yeah, raise your hand if you want to come up. We can talk. McLovin, I hope your sound quality is better than it used to be.
Yo, what's going on, everybody?
Hey, how you been?
I've been pretty good. And yourself?
I've been quite well.
Nice. How's Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I've been very evil, though. I've been shorting these quantum computing stocks like a very evil hedgie. And my God, has my evil nature made me a lot of money this past few weeks. So evil.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
I am too. So, yeah. Wrapping up this whole fund gig with the bang.
Oh, how's that going? I heard the fund, you still had issues going with it.
No, not issues. No, it's all on me now. It's basically time and date, and I say, okay, let's go. But see, I appear to be addicted, so I haven't actually ended it. No, I'm not addicted, but I saw potential for this short, and I said, give me, just give me a few more weeks. Or not really. I didn't request a few more weeks. I just said, hey, let's. I'll let you know. They said, all right. And then sure enough, shorting these quantum stocks is one of the best trades I've ever made. So I'm very glad I chose to wait. I almost just straight up cashed out around Christmas, like maybe day after Christmas, and that would have been a bad time because the shorts I was taking on the chin. But I was thinking about it just to get it. Get it out of my mind. Just say, just I don't care. Like, what is pride and whatever. And I just did it. And I was like, I'll hang on a bit longer. I was like, we'll see how it goes. Like, either way, it's whatever. It's not a big deal. And then, within 2 weeks, made about 20% return on the fund, which,
That's insane.
Yeah, when you're managing a decent amount of money, it's not, I don't have all the money in the world in this fund, but it's a decent amount of money. So 20% in 2 weeks was, my God. Thanks, Jensen Huang. Isn't it amazing if you made money on NVIDIA because of Jensen Huang, and then you turn around and shorted quantum stocks, and you made more money because of Jensen Huang? Yeah. So, So yeah, it'd be nice to go out with a bit of a bang, and then I got some trips to plan. I got some, got big plans.
So let me ask you this: after you close out the fun, are you going on a long vacation?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna be taking a few trips. First trip would be to the grocery store. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually going to Nam, in April. That's actually for a wedding for a
Oh, okay.
very good friend of mine. Yeah, basically family. So, um, that's the first big trip. Other than that, I don't know, just a little bit of exploration is all.
Here and
Um,
there,
I'd like to.
sightseeing, getting lost,
What's that?
going here and there, sightseeing and getting lost. That's the
Yep,
best way.
that's right. I do love getting lost. Um, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't exactly like plan trips, like let me. I don't write them down and say one day I'll go here. I just kind of, want to take a trip. I take a trip. If I don't feel like it, yeah, I don't do it. Sometimes in the past I'll just look at flights and see what's cheap and be like, okay, I'm flying out today or this weekend or something like that. Um,
Really, same day. That's crazy.
yeah. I mean, if I'm not like busy,
Hmm.
but
I get you.
yeah. Usually it's like if it's a holiday, like I'll look at the holiday flights and there are definitely places that are nice that people just aren't traveling to, and they'll be cheaper. So I'm like, yeah, I'll go there. Like New York. New York isn't even that expensive during the holidays. I guess everybody's leaving, Um, touristy, but not like a come over for Thanksgiving dinner in downtown Manhattan. That doesn't exactly work. So yeah.
A trip I have in mind is Cuba. I don't want to go there.
Cuba.
It seems very
Just for
relaxing.
leisure. You just want to go.
Yeah. It's been on my bucket list.
The bucket list. I always thought it was odd the concept of a bucket list. Like people get a bucket and then they
Yeah.
make a list
Fill it with
and then they toss those items in the bucket.
I see that Ben's here. Bring him up. I haven't talked to him in a while.
Ben is here. Ben, I'll invite you. He doesn't have to come up. We don't have to force anybody to come up, Caesar. It's not the type of place this is.
Yeah, that's true. My
Who's
bad, Ben.
anybody in the upper, I guess, Midwest? Any of those cities? Any of the cities that are more or less surrounded by mountains, in a way. Or if you know what winter inversion is and you have allergies, you're probably dying the same way I am. So quick, great learnings and education. In Pittsburgh, kind of surrounded by mountains, sort of. Pittsburgh, the city is kind of, it's a bit of a bowl. Um, we'll call them mounds, massive hills, like all around the city. When it gets really cold and it snows a lot, and the snow sticks, keeps snowing, that snow reflects sunlight and reflects warmth back up to the atmosphere. As the heat goes up, the pressure of that heat is higher than the pressure of the cool ground, all the snow, and that heat, that pressure traps pollutants. Anything, carbon emissions from anything, fires, whatever, using your heaters, stuff like that, electricity, whatever. So it traps all that pollution kind of in that bowl-like area, i.e. Pittsburgh. So the air quality becomes god awful, like India, bad. Nothing against India, but India has shitty air quality. But yeah, the air quality it becomes so bad, and it's bad for people with allergies specifically. Allergies, asthma, yeah. So that's how it was the past 2 days. I think today it's snow's kind of letting up a bit, so not as bad. But that's winter inversion, and it's happened to like several upper Midwest cities.
Oh, it's really bad where I'm at. My hometown, we're surrounded like a bowl. So I
Wait, I
feel
thought you were
you.
in San Francisco.
No, my hometown,
Oh, your
where I'm
hometown.
originally
Okay.
from. Yeah, it's really bad.
Que
We're
lástima.
getting a lot
Que
of
lástima.
smoke from the LA fires.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially from that. Yeah. It's like a dirty pit that trash and polluted air sinks into. Yeah, yeah. I thought dirty pit. You could have spelled pit. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Although that does mean something else in Pittsburgh, but it's fine. That when you say pit in Pittsburgh, it's you're talking about the college basketball team. But it works. If you're not from Pittsburgh, it works just fine. If you're a dirty Pittsburgher, then you have to correct people. But yeah, that's why I'm sniffling, clearing my throat. It's not because of cocaine or anything of that manner. Drugs are bad. Let's see. What else we got? Anything else in the news? I don't see much. Just markets moving. So Moderna's down because they lowered their 2025 sales forecast to a range of 1.5 to 2.5 billion, down from 2.5 to 3.5 billion, a $1 billion range that was lowered $1 billion. Yeah, that's not. Man, you have to really know something about the company, and you have to be able to predict pandemics or just illness to be right on Moderna. Or you just short it, I guess. But that's an evil thing to do. Wayfair is exiting Germany. Das ist not gut. Wayfair is exiting Germany, cutting 730 jobs or 3% of its workforce as part of a strategy shift to focus on physical retail and higher return on investment markets. The exit will cost 102 to 111 million dollars, including 40 million to 44 million dollars in employee-related expenses. Any Germans here? How do you feel about this? Or is Wayfair leaving because Germans are like, was ist das shitty furniture? Das shitty Amerikaner furniture? That's how all Germans sound, by the way. Lulu raised guidance. As I say that, the snow has begun yet again in the Berg. Macy's is down 6.6%. Yeah, how are these retail stores doing? Kohl's is down 4.5%. Man, Kohl's is trading at distressed levels. The markets are they're just completely, they're done with these retail stores. Cigar puts right there. Or cigar butts, not cigar puts. Oh yeah, is cigar put, is that a term? Is that like a trade? I feel like it could be. If it's not, I'm going to make it up. I'm going to create it. Like cigar put option trade. Let's see. It's not a term. All right, it's my term now. Cigar puts, I'm calling it. I'll define it later. Are you making coffee? I stopped drinking coffee, which is amazing. It's like a miracle. Yeah. Now we just do crack. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do crack. Come to Canada. The weather has been similar. At least like this past few weeks. I mean, I lived in Germany for a year, so I know what proper cold is. Not even that far north from me. In Germany, it was about the same latitude rather. Latitude, fatitude. You think that gives the Earth a complex? You remember in elementary school, latitude, fatitude. That's how you remember that it's horizontal, making the Earth feel ashamed of its body. Ready to invade Greenland? Ah. Does he even know where Greenland is on a map? All right, let's see. Yeah, market's starting to recover. As I say that, they start moving back down. Okay. UPRO. I think it's about time to get rid of that. I don't expect the markets to fully recover today. That would be insane. And what did I buy these Apple puts at? Or not puts, calls. The bottom at like 50. Yeah, Apple's still having a bad day. Down 2.9%. Might have to go longer term. We sell some put spreads. When do they have earnings? January 30th? We sell some put spreads expiring next week. Unless we're really going down, I don't see Apple falling much further. We could be going down for sure. I won't be too greedy though. All right. Do some 240s next week because why not? All right. Going pretty heavy in Apple. That's a correction for Apple. Yeah. All right. What's up, Speedy? Any plays today? Yeah, I just sold some put spreads on Apple expiring next week. Kind of close. I mean, it's the timeline already makes it risky, but I'm also pretty close at the money. 230. That price level, that's a 5% correction. Sorry, not 5%. Well, hang on. Let me make sure I got my math right. What was that? 260. Yeah, it was at 260. Man. Yeah. We're over 10% correction on Apple. So yeah, I'm kind of close. But I'm going to rely on market psychology now. So I'm selling just out of the money put spreads 227.5 and 222.5 expiring next week, and then I bought some 240 calls. I bought some 240 calls earlier. They expired this week. Those aren't looking too hot, so I'm just moving them out to next week. But they have earnings, I think January 30th. So let's see. Looking at IV, yeah, January 31st that week. So yeah, on the 30th. So I'd like to be out by then. IV is really high for Apple. IV rank is about 55. And we still got a few weeks, 2 weeks until earnings. That's pretty high. So I would assume IV would probably be maybe flat, if not come down just a tad bit over the next week. But yeah, that just means you'd have to be more directional. And if I'm betting on a direction, I'm betting on upside for sure. So I'm putting that in the trading channel for you guys, by the way. There's 240 calls for next week. A lot of trades on Apple. Some of them haven't been working, but I guess that's how it goes. Did Boeing get awarded a new contract? Let's find out. I don't see anything. I assume that would be in the headlines on Thinkorswim. I don't see it. Lots happening with with aerospace right now. Okay, SPY moving up nice. Man, pretty big move on the SPY. Okay, I'm going to close out my UPRO. I don't know if I want to close the whole thing out. Leave just a bit on the table. I want to say I don't need it. All right. Out of UPRO. Good trade. Yeah, I rode that from down about 0.9%. Little, I think it was about 0.9%. Rode it up to, rode it up about 50 basis points. Not bad. Just, I guess 5 hours because that was a pre-market trade. How's UNH? UNH is trying to break past 540. Man, yeah, some of these Dow stocks. So I know dogs of the Dow refers to the dividends, the big dividend players, or what stocks in the Dow have the greatest dividend yield, and then those stocks just go long. I was looking at not really dividend, but just which stocks really underperformed, but particularly like the last month of 2024. And I think those were Chevron, UNH, Amgen, Merck. I think Amgen's in Dow. I know Merck is. But yeah, I listed them previously. And then there were a few that weren't in the Dow that moved very similarly. Like, let's see, Chevron. Oh, Chevron kept going. Yeah, ConocoPhillips. That wasn't that big of a move on ConocoPhillips from 94 to 104 today. But the delta on the options was great. So this move on ConocoPhillips, what is that, like a 11% move or something? You probably made on, say, like the I don't know, like the 30 delta calls, you probably made as much money on those as you did on like a 20% move on some of these other stocks. Yeah, it was insane. I do love those juicy delta plays, the stocks that markets just don't think are going to move at all. What was the one I liked to play in the past? ADP. How are they doing? Yeah. So ADP in the past, ADP is like, people say, oh, it's not a sexy stock, doesn't really move. But the delta is super sexy. So it's probably not as playable as it was before. Yeah, the options are still kind of cheap, but the options on ADP historically have been really cheap. And the stock price will stagnate here and there. And if you look at like leap calls, just go far out in the options, you pay annualized like 1%, 1.5% on these options, and then you just wait. And ADP will sit for months, maybe to move down a bit, maybe it would be very tight range bound, And then one day it just starts moving up in a big way. And that was, about August. And it just started cruising up. And then those, what were 30 Delta leap calls, they started making hundreds of percent returns. And ADP was moving up like 10%. All you had to do was wait. And I think I made that play, it was at least a year ago. And then people would just, all of the stocks are moving to say, ADP's not moving, I'm not making any money. It's kind of hard to time. You don't know when it's just going to start moving up, right? But yeah, if you just stayed in, it became one of the best plays of the year. It's insane. What are the stocks that be going up on California rebuilding? Let's see. What do we got? We got EIX. And by the way, I'm probably going to call it a day here in a bit. I have a few errands to run. EIX is looking god awful. Oh, man. So let me see. I need to share it as a separate post because I already did some research on this. Let me see. I could do it right now, actually. Copy text. Let's do this. I was going to add a picture, but that feels insensitive. All right. No pretty pictures of the wildfire. All right, so this is the juicy stuff. I don't want to say juicy. That feels insensitive, too. All right, let me share this. There we go. Okay, I'll drop that in the chat. All right, so here's what I got for the wildfires. Pretty straightforward, but and all this is from ChatGPT, mind you. However, it was like a lengthy discussion with ChatGPT, and this is what I ended up with. So for utilities, Edison International is the big one. I think PCG should be safe, but let me say the word safe in quotes. PCG doesn't seem to have any relevance here with the wildfires. It's not their coverage area. However, while this is a hell of a drop on PCG, it doesn't mean that they're not going to trade in tandem or similar to other utility stocks. So sentiment is a hell of a thing. So yeah, that being said, I might actually sell put spreads on PCG, but I don't really see good liquidity. Yeah, liquidity is awful. Could take a small short-term call position. I just might. But yeah, might do call spreads because these I'm going to watch these because the liquidity on these is pretty bad. I wouldn't be surprised if PCG started coming back up. They're going to contain the fires. It's a matter of time. But then the lawsuits start coming out. Who's liable? Edison International, EIX, they might. I think they're saying it might be down to a down cable line. And there was a lot of brush that supposedly should have been cleared. So EIX might be liable for that. However, since the last wildfires, what was it, 2018? the government did it is kind of it put some protections in place, sort of insurance for the utilities companies, so they can only be liable to a certain extent in terms of damages and money. So yeah, not that's going to offset everything, but if these stocks start being priced as if they're going to go bankrupt, then I would say load up. They're not going anywhere. That's how I would put it. EIX has had a hell of a drop, but yeah, I'd be cautious about like selling put spreads. You're gonna have to time it, basically. You're gonna have to be right on timing, which is always tough. You're getting paid a lot of money to sell those put spreads, though. I mean, if you're really, the options only go out to July. I was gonna say if you're really certain that like if you wanted to take assignment at 40 or something, you could sell those. You're not making a lot of money, but expiring July, you go to 50. Yeah, I don't know. It's risky for sure. That I would rather sell put spreads, but or make like a limited upside play. But even then, I'd rather go PCG. So, but that's the utility side. Engineering construction firms got Quanta Services. It's PWR. And ACOM. It's ACM. From ChatGPT, Quanta stands to benefit the most from utility-driven infrastructure projects such as burying power lines and building fire-resistant systems. Its expertise in energy infrastructure positions it well to secure large contracts. And then for ACOM, it is likely to gain from contracts related to infrastructure redesign and planning in wildfire-prone regions. Those haven't really taken a hit from any of this. I wouldn't expect them to. But yeah, those are non-utilities companies that may benefit from this. Another category would be equipment manufacturers. That'd be the big boys, Caterpillar and Deere and Company. Or just Deere. Caterpillar's at an interesting price. 1.6% dividend yield. That's not that high. Yeah, never mind. I don't really like Caterpillar. I think it's trading like, a little too safe. But maybe, maybe they benefit. What's Deere trading at? Deere's probably the same, if I had to imagine. Oh, Deere's been range bound for a long time. What's their dividend? 1.5%? They look like the same stock. Demand for Caterpillar's machinery for debris removal, excavation, and rebuilding is expected to surge following current wildfire damage. And for Deere, forestry and land management efforts related to post-wildfire recovery will likely boost Deere's equipment sales. Another category, equipment rental services, URI. That's United Rental or United Rentals. That is an interesting play to me. They are down in a big way. Yeah, I think United Rentals is pretty interesting. I'll have to look at liquidity. United Rentals likely to see strong demand as contractors and municipalities rent equipment for immediate cleanup and restoration tasks. So the longer the fires go on, the more of a need there is for rental equipment. And that can rack up for sure. The revenue gain from that. Yeah, URI seems interesting. Last category, wildfire mitigation services. NV5 Global, ticker is NVEE. Positioned to benefit from consulting contracts tied to wildfire risk assessment and environmental restoration initiatives. This stock has been beat up big time. I assume it's relates or highly correlates to sort of global warming, climate change initiatives. So that's probably why it's been beaten up. But I don't think they're just some renewable energy climate change stock. That's part of their business, but I think they're a bit more of a staple than that. Like less, speculative, less about, you look at like the solar industry and there's tremendous oversupply, or like, it's going to require policies for this to be a thing. I think these guys, they're contracted like by companies because their businesses need it, or their services are needed rather. So that one might be interesting. Only 1.2 billion market cap. That makes me wonder about their financials, but yeah. And then importantly, I'll just read this out in case you're not in the post there, which is linked in the chat, by the way. Correlation between containment time and specifically Edison International stock recovery, because I think that's the other ones are kind of like, okay, they'll probably benefit, right? PCG is probably okay. They'll trade on sentiment in the meantime. But EIX, that's the big one. Historically, EIX's stock price recovery after wildfire incident wildfire incident is influenced by the following. 1, perceived liability. Stock reacts sharply to news of potential financial exposure due to liability claims under California's inverse condemnation laws, which hold utilities responsible for fires linked to their equipment. So that's in line with sentiment. 2, legal developments. Recovery begins when there is clarity about liability caps or state interventions. Examples given: wildfire funds or legislation mitigating utility liability, which has occurred in the past since 2018. I'm from the future. 3, operational continuity. Faster containment of wildfires typically reduces the perceived financial damage and speeds up investor confidence. So we'd have to check the news to see what containment is like so far. Observe trends. After the 2017 Thomas fire, EIX stock fell by over 20% in December 2017. Containment took about 1 month, but the stock didn't fully recover for 6+ months as liability claims unfolded. During the 2018 Camp Fire, EIX and PG&E stocks dropped significantly. It took nearly a year for EIX stock price to stabilize due to ongoing litigation and regulatory reviews, even though containment was achieved within a few weeks. I guess I should just put this up here. So key insights. Short-term impact. EIX typically experiences immediate declines during wildfire events, with recovery beginning as fires approach containment and liability assessments are clarified. Long-term recovery. Full recovery often depends on legal and regulatory environment, which extends beyond the containment timeframe. Investors usually await resolution of liability costs, insurance coverage, and potential legislative intervention before confidence is restored. So in conclusion, while wildfire containment times influence initial market sentiment, the recovery of EIX's stock price is more closely tied to legal and regulatory outcomes rather than the physical containment timeline alone. However, faster containment tends to mitigate the magnitude of the stock's decline, potentially shortening the recovery process. All right, so that's in Trade Ideas, aptly titled California Wildfires. I felt like a tasty trade segment. I wasn't. That wasn't my intention to make it sound like that. All right, so I think I'm going to end the YouTube talk. Or I guess, yeah, real quick. I'll reiterate what I said earlier. EIX, you're trying to catch a falling knife if you're trying to sell put spreads. If you want to go bullish, you're going to need to do call spreads probably. and the liquidity doesn't look that great. I would. It could take a while for EIX. So I think I favor. It's going to be tough, but maybe sell put spreads on EIX. That's a maybe. PCG, if you wanted, you could do set up a sort of a pairs trade. PCG should be fine in all this. So you could go long PCG and short EIX. But I would not want to have unlimited risk on the EIX short. So let's see. And you could even do calendars. I mean, it depends how you want to set this up. You could buy short-term puts, you could sell short-term puts on EIX, buy long-term puts. And PCG, if you like them at this price, you could do the opposite. You could do a kind of an inverse. You could do short calendar. That's where you sell the further out, the later expiration. And you buy the near term just in case, sentiment keeps going sour for PCG. PCG, I think the spreads have tightened liquidity-wise. So, you know what? Why don't we make a trade here? I'm going to go let's go for February. I kind of want to play it safer than that. I might go March. But June. These options don't look too rich. Okay, I'm going June, and I'm going to buy some call spreads on PCG. And I might put this in the trading channel. I do not want 3,050 spreads. Okay, let's see. I might go a little light at first because I don't know. Like, to be clear, not sure what's going to happen here. How much has PCG fallen? You were trading at 20, above 21. But the spreads are pretty bad. 21. Where's the volume at? I see volume at 20. Last trade was 41 cents. Yeah, it's liquidity. And they have earnings February 20th. I want leverage for sure. But I don't want to go too heavy in these. Just a little bit. Okay. I bought the June debit call spreads, long 18, short 22s. Liquidity isn't great, and it's probably as good as it's going to get for now. Very small position size. Good potential reward. But if it keeps going down, news comes out, PCG's, cleared, nothing to do with them, then I might double down on that. Could also sell put spreads. Let's see. Well, personally, I could just sell cash secured puts. I could sell the 15s. Or maybe I just want... I don't need to sell. I could do put spreads. Sell the 15s, hedge with the... And this is for February. Hedge with the 12s. There's liquidity there. Let's see what that gets. That's not bad. That's not too bad. Okay. I'm going to go ahead. All right. I'm selling the February put spreads on PCG, short 15, long 12.
Did you end the YouTube stream?
Not yet. I wanted to get those trades in,
Yeah.
just so the YouTube people don't feel like they're being neglected. So yeah, this is starting to feel like Tasty Trade, like wannabe Tasty Trade. Yeah, so I went long Apple. How's Apple doing? Some short-term calls in Apple. I think those will be fine. Sold some 227 fives, 222 fives, $5 wide credit put spreads expiring next week, and then I bought some 240s calls expiring next week as well. Those are looking okay so far. Nvidia bought some short-term weekly calls. Very low conviction on those. We'll see. I like the Apple play more. How's JPM doing? I thought about shorting them, and that would have made some pennies. No big deal. I'll wait for them to come back down. Maybe 241. I like 241 and 240. I really like if JPM comes down, and then I'll buy some weekly calls. If it's not until later this week, then I'll just go out next week. Oh wait, they have earnings, don't they?
Who has earnings?
JP Morgan. Okay, yeah, they got earnings 2 days. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, never mind. Then JP Morgan I like for the short to midterm. But I wouldn't want to buy calls through earnings. Unless you wanted a lotto, you could do a lotto there. The big banks are going to do just fine. They'll probably report good earnings and good guidance as well. And they'll say it's going to be volatile, it's going to be choppy because that makes them more money. Yeah, fear makes the big banks more money. Yeah, and then EIX, I kind of it just feels a little too. It just feels, yeah. If you want to gamble, I think it's 50-50. Could go up, could go down. I don't like trying to catch a falling knife by selling vol. What's that?
What was your PCG trade?
PC,
on the put side.
PCG, I am selling February 15 puts, long February 12 puts. $3 wide credit put spread.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, and then I bought the June call spreads, long 18, short 22. But yeah, watch the liquidity though. These markets they're a little wide, and this is probably the best they're gonna get. All right. Okay, so I guess just watch EIX. I like URI, but that feels like more of a fundamental play, not like a trade the event rather. I'd want to go out to June. Those options are a little expensive dollar wise. Liquidity's not that great, so yeah, I'm not sure about that. Earnings are later this month. That would have to be an earnings play. And earnings plays, those are always lottos to me. Doesn't matter how much you know, or what you think you know. So that would either be long term, but I don't like the liquidity here on the options. Yeah, it's not very good. How about the leaps? Let's see. Leaps about the same in terms of liquidity. Yeah, it'd be kind of tough to play URI. So I don't know. If you felt like it, make a gamble through earnings. I don't know. Maybe I'll join you. But real quick, like YouTube. I think we may get more of downside between here and Trump inauguration. I mean, what do we got? Like a week now? I think the sell-off is
20th.
The 20th, yeah. So we got a week. I think the markets will be chill from now until the inauguration. Okay. I am kind of now remembering when Trump used to say, when he would talk a lot of shit during his first term, at some point, it's like his advisors would like plead and tell him to just chill and to stop talking, to stop tweeting. And then he would. I think that's what is going to happen for this next week. I think he's going to chill. Because I remember him doing that. I don't know if anybody else does. Yeah, the news might regurgitate the same bullshit, but yeah, I think the markets will be okay from now until inauguration. But then it's yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that's why IV is so high overall. I don't know. Maybe it'll be a sell the news type of event. So I assume IV will go down. But through inauguration, but it all depends on what he's actually going to do. I guess the big topics are, all right, tariffs. They don't think the tariffs are going to be as bad. I think he mentioned they're going to be targeted. So it's very different. It's way different from what he said, a few months ago, which is across the board tariffs. You're getting a tax. You're getting a tax. You're getting, so targeted tariffs, way different. And probably not as severe. Other nations are already talking to him, already throwing money at him. Deportation, I don't know how that's going to work. And the funny thing is, I don't think Abbott wants that. Governor Abbott of Texas, because it's kind of like the backbone of the economy in Texas, whether they want to admit it or not. So, yeah, I'm not sure about that. I don't think all Republicans will be 100% on board with that once they realize how much it could affect the economy. So, I don't know. Maybe they're going to get more strict with immigration and maybe more strict with deportation, but I think it's mostly talk. So, but yeah, and then deregulation is happening. Deregulation, tax breaks, yeah, that's happening. That's the easiest one to call, I think, and that's why you look at a lot of the stocks that flew when Trump won the election, and most of those they just came back down since then. Even the SPY has come back down. Des pointed out SPY's back down to where it was pre-election, so it was a trade. And usually I just hope that people remember things, but this is one of those things. Yeah, I said it here. That was a trade. So everybody that was chasing, I hope you didn't actually chase, or if you did, maybe you made a little bit of money in the short term. But yeah, it was just a trade, and it was a bit of a pump, a little bit too much hype, and a lot of that hype has died out. And overall in the markets, it's completely died out. It's gone back to where it was before. And if people say that was because of jobs data, because of rate cuts, well, the whole rate cuts fear is highly attributable to Trump's narrative. So it's all the same thing. But the banks have actually held up pretty well. What is it? XLF rather. Yeah, the whole XLF ETF is still up a bit, but the big banks are still doing quite well. JP Morgan, I mean, go figure. And I've said this so many times. It's like best big bank to throw money at, JP Morgan. That's it. BlackRock is back down. Might actually be playing BlackRock. I mean, it had a hell of a year last year. Goldman Sachs still up. Bank of America, I think, is lagging. No, Bank of America is fine. And Citi's doing very well. So, yeah, I think the big banks the stock prices are telling it like it is. So, yeah, everything else, I think, it's still speculative. So yeah, rather than are we going to see more market downside or whatever, I would say I think the Trump trade has fully revealed itself. And if you want any investments, you want to know where to put your money now, then I think the deal-making side is definitely back on the table for sure. Or it was never off the table, really. So, yeah. Okay. Wiener Burger? What is that? Charmin 89. Yeah, what is Wiener? Is that a stock? Or is that a restaurant? Or a food truck? Or is it Weiner Burger? Yeah, Weiner Burger. Oh, it's a German stock. Oh, man, Germany. What What do they do? Produces and sells clay blocks, facing bricks, roof tiles. Okay, so building, construction, and materials. Never looked at them. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Germany's having a bad time right now. So, WBRBY. What's their dividend? Dividend's probably variable, right? Let's see. I'll look at book value. All right, 3.1 billion in equity, 2.4 billion in debt. Okay, debt level's fine. 3.1 billion equity versus what? Market cap. Okay, so they're under book value. Not bad. I mean, are they So they're probably like if not market cap, they're probably a sizable company, right? If you're looking for a book value play, they look fine. They look good. Let's see. What are they trading at? Like 0.85 book value? 0.85 times? Oh, it's not telling me the correct one because it's not doing the conversion. WBRBY. See if Yahoo got it right. Okay. Oh, 0.96. All right. The dividend is trailing is 3.6%. Yeah. I'd imagine it's just going to move with the sentiment of the German economy. What's the EWG? Is that the Germany ETF? Okay, so it's lagging the broader German market. Yeah, I don't know. It looks fine. If you wanted a German stock, dividend play, below book value, yeah, it's not bad. All right. I'm going to call it a day for YouTube. Let's see, real quick. S&P, pretty big rebound from the lows. About 60 basis points. S&P's down 0.3%. Nasdaq's down 0.75%. The Dow is up 0.57%. Russell's down 0.6%. VIX futures are up 2.5%. Treasuries are now about flat. Gold is still down 1%. Crude is up 2%. Nat gas is flat now. Bitcoin is down 2.3%. And the US dollar is up 0.87% versus other currencies. All right, YouTube people, going to call it a day. Until next time on Friday, have a good week and see you in Discord.